Senior Connections, your weekly source for information, tips, and strategies on senior issues to help you age gracefully with your host, Janet Halliday, and financial advisor and parent care expert, Dr. Kevin Skipper.
Welcome to Senior Connections. I'm Janet Halliday, your host, along with Dr. Kevin Skipper. He is a financial consultant here in the Midlands. It's good to be back with you.
Good to see you on the program that's about you, our seniors, and we're getting a little bit older. I found this humor this week, Janet. I thought this was pretty good. You know you're getting older when a late night now ends at 11 p.m. You know you're getting older when about half the stuff in your shopping cart says for fast relief. You know you're getting older when all you want for your birthday is not be reminded of your age. And you know you're getting older if everything hurts and what doesn't hurt doesn't work. So anyway, welcome to Senior Connections, where we hope every week to have some fun and some great information and news about what you need to know from retirement to parent care. And we've got some great things lined up today.
Yes, I understand you're going to tell us about a 5-star rating, and that's not for a hotel.
Yes, and this subject may surprise you, but it also could save your life. Okay?
Very important.
A 5-star colonoscopy. What is that about? Dr. Stephen Lloyd with the South Carolina Medical Center will be here, and we'll talk about your colon health and why it could save your life and how important it is to get this procedure done on a regular basis, especially as we get older.
Yes, and in our second segment, I'm going to be talking to Debbie Cannon from Comar Products, and she's going to be telling us about bathroom renovations and how that impacts the financials of your house.
Yes, and we'll talk about that. And also in the financial segment, many of our viewers have a pension. And FINRA, who regulates the financial industry, is out with a warning about those who are scamming seniors and their pensions. We'll tell you what to watch out for.
So when we come back, Kevin's going to be interviewing Dr. Stephen Lloyd with the South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center and telling us about colonoscopies and why they're so important.
You're listening to Senior Connections. We'll be right back. You know, choosing a financial advisor is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. You're seeking out a person or a firm that you will entrust your life savings with. I'm Dr. Kevin Skipper. I've been a financial consultant for over 20 years here in Columbia. Our firm is Discipline Financial Management. Here's some questions to ask an advisor. How long have you been in business and what are your credentials? What's your investment philosophy? What is your sales strategy? Let us answer these questions and many others. Give us a call at Discipline Financial Management.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble.
Help!
I could barely move.
Help!
I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
We save a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes. For a free Life Alert brochure, call 800-485-5621. That's 800-485-5621. Call 800-485-5621 today.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Enhance your mobility and independence with a van from All Medical. Choose from a Dodge Caravan or a Honda Odyssey and customize it for your needs. Whether you're slightly ambulatory or in a wheelchair, you'll enjoy knowing you can get around town whenever you want. You depend on All Medical to provide services and products to fit your lifestyle. Now call on All Medical to take you that extra mile.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
As large corporations continue to take over local businesses, Carnegie and Mosley Funeral Home is still family-owned and independent. They believe that bigger doesn't mean better, and people always come before profits. That trust is earned, not bought. The Carnegie and Mosley family has been serving families since 1884. Carnegie and Mosley Funeral Home, they are your neighbors, and you'll appreciate the difference.
At Crescent Construction, we know your home is one of your most valuable assets.
We specialize in roofing and remodeling projects. Leaks, storm damage, and age are all signs you may need to repair or even replace your roof. We perform a 20-point certified roof inspection when most contractors do not. We can better identify issues that may result in further and more costly damage.
A roofing assessment is free, so call us at 781-1900.
We guarantee our team is professional, clean, and dedicated to your satisfaction. So call us today.
Are you or someone you love having difficulty getting into the tub for a bath or unable to stand in the shower? Call Comar Products today for help with safe, comfortable, independent bathing solutions. We specialize in products like walk-in tubs and roll-in showers. Our walk-in tubs feature hydrotherapy technology, so your bath is always warm and may even increase blood flow circulation and reduce swelling. Call Comar today to schedule your showroom appointment or visit us at 1759 Airport Boulevard in Casey.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. I'm Kevin Skipper. You know, many of us have heard stories of people, some not famous, some very famous, maybe even family members, who have died because they've not taken care of their colon health. It's a test that many of us know we should have. Many people don't have it frequently enough. We're going to talk about that today on Senior Connections. Joining me today is nationally renowned medical director of the South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center, Dr. Stephen Lloyd, and he has helped many people with this procedure and is considered a national expert in the field. And Stephen, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
And so a lot of people may not know how renowned you are. Give us a little bit of your background and a little bit about your practice.
Well, I was originally educated at the Johns Hopkins University undergraduate, and then I got my MD and a PhD in computer science from Duke, and I've been in Columbia for over 30 years. I focused for the last 15 years just on colon health issues, on trying to prevent colon cancer. Colon cancer is the #1 cancer killer among people that don't smoke. 50,000 deaths compared to breast cancer, 40,000, prostate, 30,000. So this is the #1 cancer killer among non-smokers, but it's 90% preventable with a high-quality colonoscopy. So I'm real excited about the privilege and the opportunity to save so many lives.
And why are we so hesitant to go get this test done when people like you do so well with it and can save lives?
I think it's something about this doctor with this 5-foot-long hose that goes somewhere that, the sun don't exactly shine.
Yeah.
We're in the South here, it's a tough sell. Yeah. We've got a marketing dilemma, and that's why we have great people that help get the message out. But if you get down to brass tacks, this test is 50 times more likely to save a life than a mammogram. 80% of women get their mammograms, but only half that number get their colonoscopies.
Wow. Funny story, when I had mine the first time, the doctor told me to take the prep at this time, and I took it at that time, and I had a client meeting, and I said, excuse me.
Excuse me.
You get us ready for the procedure. But as we get older, why does colon health become even more important?
Because colon cancer is a disease that's much, much more frequently as you get older. 90% of patients with colon cancer are over the age of 50. And that's why the recommendation to start screening at age 50 has been developed. That if we start people at age 50, we'll prevent almost all of the deaths.
Well, you have a procedure that you called ADR. Explain what that procedure is and why it sort of sets your practice apart.
Well, we've found over the last several years that there is a considerable variation in the quality among colonoscopists. And the industry has gotten together to come up with some standards saying, how do we measure who does a better test and who doesn't? And the standard that we use now is called the ADR, which stands for the adenoma detection rate. An adenoma is a precancerous polyp. And the thing that everyone needs to understand is that from a time an adenoma starts, and we can see it during the colonoscopy, and it turning into cancer takes usually more than 10 years. So during the colonoscopy, when we see the adenomas, we destroy them, we take them out, we remove them, we biopsy them. And then you can't get colon cancer. The trouble is not every doctor is able to see every adenoma. The colon has lots of turns and kinks and little hidden spots, and sometimes there's still a little bit of waste material. We won't talk about that. But if you take your prep like you did, then things are clean, then you shouldn't miss things. But not everybody's perfect in being able to get all the waste material out. And sometimes some waste material could be sitting on top of a polyp and you'd miss it. So nothing's perfect, but it should be more than 90%. You should be able to find 90% of the polyps. And the ADR is the number that tells us. The ADR, simply stated, is the percentage of patients that had at least one precancerous polyp. So if I did 100 cases and in 40 of them I found at least one precancerous polyp, I might have found 10 in one. But if you have any in a patient, then that counts as a positive towards your ADR. And the industry standard is it should be 20. Studies all over the country, all over the world have shown that if your ADR is above 20, you get 10 times the protection from subsequent cancer. So if a doctor has an ADR below 20, you're still at a lot of risk of getting colon cancer. So it's very important that every patient that's being scheduled for a colonoscopy, that's getting referred, to know that doctor's ADR. The industry, all of the professional organizations say every doctor that does this test should measure theirs. If they don't, I'd be a little concerned because there's a lot of variation. The doctor's ADR should be above 20. Mine's 42. And so we're real proud, and at our center we talk about the 5-star colonoscopy, and I'm sure we'll get into that later, but the doctor that finds the most polyps gives you the most protection from colon cancer, and there's a 10-fold difference. That's a big difference.
And that's a question many of us wouldn't even know to ask, as far as one doctor versus another doctor. That's a real key thing. Now, I've heard of 5-star hotels. I've heard of 5-star mutual funds. I don't know if I've ever heard of a 5-star colonoscopy. Tell me about that.
Well, the symbol for colon cancer is the star, the blue star.
Okay.
And so we use that as a pinnacle to try to come up with some things for patients to think about when they're scheduling their colonoscopy. But the number one thing at the top of the star is quality. The quality of the exam reflected in the ADR. We were very fortunate last week to have a professor of gastroenterology from the Mayo Clinic who came to Columbia to talk about the type of procedures we do that are so different from the rest of the country. And they did analysis of every case we've done over the last 11 years and found out that we had the highest colon cancer prevention rate in the country.
That's
right here
amazing.
in Columbia, South Carolina. And instead of having, say, thank goodness for Mississippi or Alabama, we're number one in one thing, and that is protecting patients from colon cancer if you have it done properly. And he's actually developed, he's a researcher in how to improve the protective benefit of colonoscopy to be sure that it protects people from getting colon cancer. And he's actually developed a hardware-software device that hooks onto a colonoscope and gives you a number to say, how good did you do? And he is so proud to have brought this technology. We're the first place to have it outside the Mayo Clinic. And so every patient that we do now gets a numeric score saying, you got a real good colonoscopy. And Dr. DeGroin, the doctor from the Mayo Clinic that came, when he first installed our system, he said, every one of your doctors, we have 25 doctors at our center, every one of them had numbers that are way above the average at the Mayo Clinic. So he's really proud that the 5-star techniques that we use have resulted in very meticulous exams, eliminating the polyps, protecting people from colon cancer.
One last question. At what age should I start having a colonoscopy, and how frequently?
This is an excellent question. You want to start based on birthdays. Like you said, what age do you start? A lot of people say, I'll wait till I have symptoms. Don't bother to come see me because you're going to die. 85% of people that come when they're bleeding or losing weight or their bowels are locked up, they're going to die. You come when you turn 50. And the test doesn't have to be done, but every 10 years if it's done properly. If you have some additional risk factors, then you may have to start earlier. African Americans get colon cancer younger, so they have to start at 45. But it's a test you start at age 50 and repeat every 10 years.
Thanks for being with us, Dr. Stephen Lloyd with the South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center. Great information.
Thank you. Come see us. We want to leave no behind.
That's great. Thank you. And when we come back, Janet is going to talk about how you can get your bathroom senior friendly. I'm Kevin Skipper. You're watching Senior Connections. We'll be right back.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Enhance your mobility and independence with a van from All Medical. Choose from a Dodge Caravan or a Honda Odyssey and customize it for your needs. Whether you're slightly ambulatory or in a wheelchair, you'll enjoy knowing you can get around town whenever you want. You depend on All Medical to provide services and products to fit your lifestyle. Now call on All Medical to take you that extra mile.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Growing up, my parents worked hard, but they always took time to make us feel special. I know there were some hard times, but all I can remember is feeling loved and secure. Now they're older, and I want them to feel that same security. They need a little extra help now, so I turned to Retirees Senior Services. They provide services from meals and medication reminders to more detailed care when we need it. When a nursing home is not the answer, get the quality in-home care your parents deserve. Call Retirees Home Care Beyond Compare.
I'm calling North Point.
We'll be right there. Call 788-8081 when your system.
This does not work.
I can fix that.
We'll be right there. Call 788-8081 when your system needs repair. Think North Point Heating and Air.
I live alone, so when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, that's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 800-485-5621. That's 800-485-5621. Call 800-485-5621 today.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. I'm Janet Halliday. And if you joined us in the first segment, you know that now we're going from bottoms to bathrooms. And my guest is Debbie Cannon with Comar Products right here in West Columbia. You are a local mom and pop business.
We are.
And we are so fortunate because Debbie is going to tell us about how important it is to do the right kind of bathroom renovation. Welcome to the show again.
Thank
Debbie's
you.
been on before. Debbie, when we're planning a bathroom, what are some of the most important elements you should consider?
I would say probably the top three would be who's going to use the bathroom and what are their needs, if there are special needs. Secondly would be, is your main goal comfort or function? And of course, how much you want to spend on it.
When you say main goal, comfort or function, can you have both?
You can, but generally you're going to have more of one than the other.
Okay. Well, I always try to tell folks, if you're going to invest in a bathroom remodel, first of all, don't skimp. Second of all, do it for longevity.
Right.
Make sure that you can age in place. That is so important now because most people want to stay in their homes. And bathrooms, as we have had conversations, are one of the things that can restrict somebody moving from maybe a rehab center or getting out of the hospital.
Correct.
Now, tell us about some of your experiences with that.
Well, you know, generally the bathroom is probably the first place in the house you're going to have an accident. You're going to slip and fall. And so you want to make sure it's as safe as possible, even if you have all of your faculties at the time. Most recently, we have done a walk-in bathtub for a lady that couldn't get out of rehab till she had that at home. Otherwise, she would not have been able to bathe.
Right. And I know one of the most important things that I've learned from talking to you about those walk-in bathtubs is to make sure that you have a heat source, a light above it, because you have to sit in it to fill and for it to unfill. I tell everybody I know about that. I think that's wonderful.
Good.
So why is it important who you select to do a renovation?
Well, as with any remodeling, you're inviting somebody into your home to do work. So you want to make sure that, first of all, that they're reputable and honest, but secondly, that you're comfortable with them and that they respect you and your time.
Well, what about the credentials? You know, do they need to be CAP certified? Can they be tell us about that.
Again, it's really going to depend on the extent of the project that you're looking at. They certainly need to have all their licenses and insurances. You don't want somebody to get hurt in your home and then depend on you to pay for their bills. It's, if you're going to ask a company about their insurance, they should be happy to tell you about it. We are.
Now, is there some document that they can provide so that you can actually see it? Should they check with the Better Business Bureau?
All of those are good ideas. The Better Business Bureau is a great thing. Social media, you can go online and find out just about anything you want to find. And of course, a lot of that should be taken with a grain of salt. But we're happy to provide our insurance information to let you know that we take care of our bills and we want you to be safe as well.
Is that, when you say insurance, is it also bonding for your employees?
At this point, bonding is not required by the state.
Okay. Now, when you're getting an estimate, what should be provided in that estimate?
You really want a written estimate, of course. That's kind of common sense, but you want to ask for a written estimate, and you want to know what is and what is not involved. If you're going to be doing some of the work yourself, let's say you're going to do the painting to save some money, you want to know if they're going to prep the walls or if you're going to prep the walls. If they're tearing out the old material, who's responsible for getting rid of the debris, because that can be an expense. So very specifically, the activities that are going to be covered, the materials that they're going to use, whether they're going to be quality materials, if you're going to be able to make selections, upgrades, and one of the most important things, how much it's going to cost, and the payment terms.
What about when it's going to be finished?
Exactly.
Should that be included in there?
Well, within reason. We all know that things happen from time to time. They may tear into it and find you've got a lot more damage than they anticipated, which can add some time to it. But certainly you want an outside estimate if things go well, and so you'll know how long you're sharing that bathroom.
Well, I know, having been in, and you have a local showroom that folks can go in and view some of the products themselves. One of the things that I liked best was the tile that you had that's all one sheet that looks like tile, but there's no grout.
Right.
And I love that. And is that considered an upgrade?
It is an upgrade. The smoother walls are traditionally what people get, but we like to offer a little something extra.
Well, it definitely is beautiful, and I've already told my husband, as soon as we get ready to do that bathroom remodel, that's what we're going with.
Good.
Tell us about how it's different from how your business is different from other contractors, just general contractors.
Well, for one thing, we concentrate on bathrooms, and we have a showroom. We don't ask you to look at pictures or let us, tell you about what we do. We want to show you what we do. We want you to meet our staff and be comfortable with them. If you're not comfortable coming to the showroom or can't come to the showroom, we will come to your home, but we will be respectful and honest when we visit.
And I know you are. And they are local and, like I said, just down the road. And warning, warning, warning. When we get back, Kevin is going to tell you about a scam. And thanks for being with us, Debbie.
Sure.
Woodash is having a mattress sale. Why pay thousands of dollars for a Visco memory foam mattress when you can get a complete two-piece queen set at Woodash for $3.99? This quality mattress layered with Visco memory foam features a cool, comfortable quilted top for a comfortable, cool sleep every night. Highly resilient, highly durable, and best of all, at a discount price starting at just $3.99 for the two-piece queen set. For the lowest discount prices featuring Visco memory foam mattresses starting at $3.99, shop Woodash today. Woodash, located in the heart of the Vista, 919 Gervais.
Choosing a financial advisor is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. You're seeking out a person or a firm that you will entrust your life savings with. I'm Dr. Kevin Skipper. I've been a financial consultant for over 20 years here in Columbia. Our firm is Discipline Financial Management. Here's some questions to ask an advisor. How long have you been in business, and what are your credentials? What's your investment philosophy? What is your sales strategy? Let us answer these questions and many others. Give us a call at Discipline Financial Management.
Attention, catheter patients on Medicare.
I use catheters, and if you do too, please listen carefully. There is a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample by calling this number now.
Pain and urinary tract infections have been avoided by many of my patients. These new disposable catheters hurt less. It's an incredible new design that reduces pain. The eyelets are polished, so they glide smoothly and effortlessly across your sensitive skin. Call now and get a free sample. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these catheters per month, all at little or no cost to you.
Call now for your free sample. It will arrive with a complete 90-day order, and if it doesn't reduce your pain, we'll pick them up for free.
Please call 1-800-394-8763. That's 1-800-394-8763. 1-800-394-8763.
We have the freedom to plan our lives starting at birth. Then one day our health changes and we realize we may not have planned for everything. Most of us that reach 65 will eventually rely on others to help us do the things we now take for granted. What's your plan for long-term care? Certified Senior Solutions Specialists can help. Even if you don't qualify for long-term care insurance, you may qualify for a new special critical illness policy that pays cash for conditions that cause most long-term care insurance claims. Call us today to plan ahead.
Don't compromise, mobilize with all medical Medical.
Enhance your mobility and independence with a van from All Medical. Choose from a Dodge Caravan or a Honda Odyssey and customize it for your needs. Whether you're slightly ambulatory or in a wheelchair, you'll enjoy knowing you can get around town whenever you want. You depend on All Medical to provide services and products to fit your lifestyle. Now call on All Medical to take you that extra mile.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. If you have a pension, you are going to want to hear these words from Kevin, and I'm going to find out, what is FINRA?
FINRA is the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. It is who manages and monitors financial advisors and brokerage firms, and they're out with a warning for those of you who have pensions. You may get a phone call like this. Somebody on the phone says, "Do you have a pension?" And you say yes. And they say, "Well, we've got this deal," and it's sometimes called a mirrored pension, and they're going after your pension check. And they say, "Well, we'll give you a lump sum of $30,000 if you'll turn over your pension check and stream of income to us." And it sounds good if you have some bills due or you think you need a lump sum of money, but FINRA is warning it's a scam. There are many people who aren't delivering the check, or they are not getting the check in the right amount, and now you've turned over your pension that you worked at a company or the state or federal government for years, and now they've taken the money away from you. Or it can be mirrored on the other side. Someone calls and they want you to be a potential investor. And they say, "Hey, we got this deal where we're raising money and we go out to seniors and we buy their pensions from them, and you can get 9% guaranteed or 12% guaranteed." Whenever somebody is offering you a high guaranteed interest rate like that, let the red flags come up. But the pension scam is out there targeting seniors, targeting their pensions. Now, if you want the full documentation of this scam and how it works, go to the website FINRA, F-I-N-R-A, FINRA.org, and protect yourself. And if it involves investing in a pension or if it involves taking over your pension, be cautious. Also, adult children, make sure your mom and dad know about this, because they could be unsuspecting from a telephone call. Protect yourself when it comes to your pension. You worked too hard for it.
That's great information, Kevin. Yes, protect yourself. And now it's time for our weekly giveaway.
We always like to put some things in your hand to reward you for watching us on Senior Connection. This week's book is Prime for Life, Functional Fitness for Ageless Living. The fifth caller to this number at 739-4205 wins the book today and a $25 gift certificate. Give us a call right now. Also, we'd like to hear from you by email. We'd like to have segments in the program where we're addressing specifically your email. Give us an email this week at info@seniorconnectionssc, that's SSC at the end, .com. info@seniorconnections.com. Be great to hear from you. We'd love to cover some of your questions and suggestions of who you'd like to have maybe as guest on the show or what's on your mind in the area of aging.
That's right, and we want to thank you for being with us today. And again, if you have need for the services that our sponsors provide, please give them a call because they're keeping the lights on.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching this episode of Senior Connections. We'll see you again next week. Have a great week.